As I loaded up Fallout New Vegas and began my campaign, I was hit by a horrible sinking feeling in my gut. On first glance, absolutely nothing in the game has changed. Graphics, sounds, character models, all are built using the same game engine or have been recycled straight from Fallout 3. What I was hoping would be a brand new adventure across the Wastelands was quickly looking like nothing more than an expensive expansion pack. I needn't have worried though, because 5 minutes after setting up my character, I was once more sucked straight into the Fallout world, totally absorbed by its storyline, characters and quests. If there was ever an example of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, then this is it. Fallout New Vegas may not have remoulded the game, but it did enable me to fall in love with the franchise all over again. Instead of playing as a vault dweller looking for his paw like in Fallout 3, the character you play in New Vegas is a delivery man for the Mojave Express, who for some reason, which you spend the game trying to find out, is double-crossed by a check jacket wearing Matthew Perry and left to die in a shallow grave with a bullet in his melon. Luckily for you, as soon as Chandler has done a runner with the package you were supposed to be delivering, a platinum poker chip, a wandering robot finds you and digs you up. The game starts proper with you waking up in a doctor's surgery in a town called Good Springs, where, as a way to customise your character's looks and stats, good old Doc Mitchell runs you through some crazy psychological tests.
I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Cheese? Oh, no, that's not there.
House.
Cheese! Oh.
Night.
32? Nope.
Bandit.
Bum? Meh.
Light.
Cheese?
Mother.
Fuck. The story kicks off a lot faster than in Fallout 3, which made you spend an hour or two inside the vault before you could venture out into the wide world. In New Vegas, once you've gone through the create your character options, you're kicked right out of the doctor's surgery and straight into the action. Leaving the doctor's surgery for the first time and gazing out across the town of Good Springs is less of a memorable moment than the first time you leave the vault in Fallout 3 and view the vastness of the world though, and unfortunately this was one of the few moments that have been ruined by the similarity of the two games. The exit from the vault in Fallout 3 is one of gaming's great moments. The exit from the doctor's surgery in New Vegas is just, well, meh. The settlement exteriors and interiors are yet again super detailed and full of Oh my god, Ghostbook! What the hell? Ah! Get away from me! Ah! Only joking. New Vegas brings back the pickup feature, which lets you hold objects in a weird telekinesis style. It's kind of pointless, except for giving you the chance to have a closer look at the prop models or the opportunity to throw things at the NPCs, but thankfully it also gives me the chance to bring back my favourite post-apocalyptic pastime of Punchy Punch. Punchy Punch makes traversing the vast empty wastelands that little bit more interesting. Let me demonstrate. Punchy punchy punch punch, punchy punchy punch punch, punchy punchy punch punch, punchy punchy punch. In Fallout New Vegas, you're going to run into lots of people, and most of these people belong to certain factions. Some of these are big, like the New California Republic, also known as the NCR, who are your basic military power struggling to control its territories. Then there's Caesar's Legion, who are proper nasty pieces of work, enjoying nothing more than crucifying people and popping their heads on spikes. There are also a handful of smaller factions like the escaped convicts known as the Powder Gangers, who you meet early on in the game. Most of these factions are at war with one another, and it's down to you to choose whether to fight for certain factions, play them all against each other, or alternatively, sack them all off and just destroy everyone. Anarchy! At first, the choices seem easy to make, but the further in you go, the more you end up questioning people's motives and, in turn, your decisions for siding with a faction. Is it for the good of all, or will it eventually only benefit yourself? It's these types of choices that draw you into the experience totally and make the game great. But it's not all melodrama and politics. The Fallout sense of humour makes a welcome return, and there are plenty of light-hearted moments thrown into the mix to lighten the mood, whether it be humorous notes left behind from pre-war citizens on antiquated computers, or the ramblings of crazy characters driven mad by years of surviving in a nuclear wasteland. Don't follow the main mission storylines, and you can have hours upon hours of fun talking to strangers, looting deserted shops, and shooting freaky mutoid animals. Oh, and playing Punchy Punch. Oh, Punchy, Punchy, Punch Punch. Punchy, Punchy, Punch Punch. A brand new addition is the game's Hardened mode, which offers you a much more realistic challenge to the precedings. With Hardened mode selected, all your ammo now has weight to it, meaning you can't prance around the landscape holding 500 missiles in your back pocket anymore. Now you'll have to find somewhere to store them. You'll also need to go to the doctors to heal broken limbs if you don't have a doctor's bag on you to treat the wound, and most regularly, you'll have to manage the amount of sleep you have and also your intake of food and water. Get too hungry and your stats will suffer, making you weaker and slower. Forget to drink and you're screwed. I forgot to pause the game at one point, went downstairs for my din-dins, and when I came back up, my poor chap had died of dehydration. You really need to super manage every aspect of your character in harder mode, and although this makes the game harder, it also makes it that little bit more involving and therefore fun. Fun like Punchy Punch. Oh, Punchy, Punchy, Punch Punch. Punchy, Punchy, Punch Punch. Punchy, Punchy, Punch Punch. Punchy, Punchy, Punch. To help you monitor and manage your health, items, weapons, and ammo, you are once again kitted out with a Pip-boy. Using the Pip-boy, you can monitor your need for food, water, and sleep, plus your health and exposure to radiation. You can repair weapons, check up on quests, fast travel to locations, and loads more. It's your whole RPG menu system on your wrist, and for Fallout veterans it's super easy to use. Noobs may get a little confused to start with when confronted by all the facts and figures, but the straightforward operation means it becomes second nature pretty soon. Another welcome returnee is the VATS aiming system. That's right, VATS is back, and so is your ability to target specific points on an enemy during a firefight. It's all a game of numbers and percentages really, but it looks stunning when you lock onto someone in VATS and blow their head clean off in glorious slow motion. Without using VATS, like Fallout 3, the weapon aiming is sadly clunky and awkward. It would have been nice if Obsidian had taken the time to smooth it out a bit, but hey ho, they didn't. New weapons and new customization options also feature in Fallout New Vegas, and you can now build your own ammo as well as your own weapons. So you can tool up your guns with different types of ammo for different types of situations, which really... Whoa! Doghead Punchy Punch! Doghead Punchy Punch Punch! Doghead Punchy Punch Punch! Doghead Punchy Punch Punch! Punchy Punchy Punch! One of the most negative things about Fallout New Vegas, which has been hitting the gaming headlines since its release, is the amount of glitches and bugs present in the game, and to be honest, the reports are not exaggerations. While playing the game, I came across quite a few graphical glitches, which included my gun disappearing and reappearing, enemies running on the spot, scenery popping in and out of existence, and one wandering merchant who I can't buy anything off because each time I accept the transaction it crashes and hangs the game. Boo, reset. According to Bethesda though, patches are incoming rapidly, so these should all be sorted soon. Ish. Hopefully. Please? So New Vegas, you glitchy little copycat, are you worth a purchase? Well, rather than being a stale rehash of Fallout 3, which to be honest is exactly what it looks like at first glance, New Vegas manages to become an engaging, involving game in its own right. And although it's not quite as good as its predecessor, it still manages to be up there in my Games of the Year list. This game is a must-buy for any gamer who loves a deep, rewarding experience, and it's a necessity for all of you fans of Fallout 3 and even Oblivion. In New Vegas you will find another awesome reason to while away 100+ hours of your life, and that's not even counting the many hours you'll spend playing Punchy Punch. Punchy Punchy Punch Punch, oh Punchy Punchy Punch Punch, Punchy Punchy Punch Punch, Punchy Punchy Punch.